I'm casting my lasso way up there on high, upwards the heavens to you. I'm casting my lasso way up there on high, upwards the heavens to you. I'm going to keep on trying until my look goes in. I know it's up there hiding just around the bend. Someday I'll be riding that new range by and by. I'm casting my lasso towards the sky. I'm casting my lasso way up there on high, upward the heavens to you. I'm casting my lasso way up there on high, upwards the heavens to you. Old friends are gone before me, all watching while I ride. Up there in heaven's roundup, across the great divide. They're up there a-riding, I'll join them by and by. I'm casting my lasso towards the sky.
That's a great record. I'll tell you who that is. That's Kenny Archer. That's from his new album, which is called Anytime. And we've got cards from Kenny Archer, which says on the other side, or should I say the back side, I'm just a yodel away. We're going to send those to special people who ring up and ask for them. Now, there's one disturbing thing about that record. That's a song called Casting My Lasso. Can I ask you about this?
Yeah.
This is new.
Yes?
Casting my lasso way up to the sky. That's my dog.
How's your dog? Your dog's called...
My dog's a lasso.
Oh.
But that's actually not. In Northern Ireland, people call them lassos. A lassa apso. Right. But people call them lassos. So Kenny's just singing about casting my lasso way up in the sky. Shouldn't it be lasso?
Mm-hmm. Is there any more...
But, I mean, seriously, shouldn't it be lasso?
Yes, it's lasso.
Or maybe perhaps Kenny's right. Maybe it is lasso. It's spelled L-A-S-S-O. But when I was a young lad going to the pictures, you always called it a lasso. And Lash LaRue, do you remember him?
But can I ask you something now?
Do you remember Lash LaRue?
Yes, I want to ask you something now.
Yes.
Did you ever hear a cowboy say, hand me my lasso?
No, I've never done that.
You've never heard a cowboy say that word.
Do you know what I think? It's possibly the same way.
So Kenny could be right. We need an American.
We do indeed. We need someone to verify the pronunciation of lasso. L-A-S-S-O. Is it lasso or indeed lasso? It's almost like... Do you remember we used to talk about Abbott and Costello?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't Abbott and Costello. It was Abbott and Costello.
It was not.
Yes!
Oh, you don't believe
Yes! Me. All that time. And do you remember we used to talk about the Three Stooges?
Ah, well, I know that.
They were the Three Stooges. We didn't know what a Stoogie was.
Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
No, but see, down south, Costello's an Irish name. And they say John Costello.
Yeah, but what do they say in America?
Costello.
Bud Abbott and Luke Costello.
Yeah.
Act your drawers. Did not. They say Costello.
No, because we said Costello because we thought it was Italian.
No, they say that in America.
They don't. I lived in America. You were never in America in your life apart from the time you were over butlering for Tom Jones or whatever you were doing.
My father was a postman in America.
I know, but that's not the same thing. The thing is that we always said Abbott and Costello.
We need an American.
Okay, as there must be some kind of returned Yank here.
We don't
look at all the men who are married to women in Northern Ireland living here in misery. There's nifty all out there. Any Americans living out there in misery with Northern Ireland women, ring up, tell us how to pronounce lasso, and tell us how people pronounce Costellloe.
But we don't need a Northern Irelander.
We don't want a Northern Irelander. We want an American who's living here in misery with a woman from Northern Ireland.
Or indeed an American living in America.
living in America. Yes, or we need a real American living in America. So give us a ring. Thank you for that. Right, I'll do the spiel now.
Will you turn me off?
Yes, indeed. Good morning, Gerald Anderson here. I'll be here until 12 o'clock. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. Despite what Stephen Nolan says, I won't be here tomorrow, so just in case there's anything you want to get at me about, you won't be able to get me until Monday. The email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the reason I'm taking my day off today has nothing to do with the singles night tonight. I'm doing something else tomorrow, which is none of your business. The text message number is 81771, but I refuse to look at them because my mind is pure as the driven snow. Please play a nice wee request for Adrian Crilly, whose birthday is on the 1st of April, which is today, April Fool's Day. There'll be no talk of April Fools today. There'll be people talking about spaghetti trees, I know, all day, but there'll be none of that in this programme. We've already had our April Fool, Northern Ireland, pretending to win in Estonia. Adrian Crilly, whose birthday is on the 1st of April today. Adrian lives at number 8 Clark's Row and Mayo Gall Road in Gulladuff in Lavey. Please wish Adrian a very happy birthday, DJ, and that's from his dear wife Katrina and family circle in Mahara, or as they say in America, Magira. Lots of love from Granny Crilly. Adrian's no fool. Many thanks, Gerry. That's kind of disjointed, that. And, you know, I don't really, I'm kind of afraid of that. Listen, I was talking about casting my lasso towards the sky, being very upset in case somebody broke into my house and stole my dog and casted my lasso towards the sky. Here's something now. Hugo Duncan has lost his dog. Yes, he has. I was talking to him this morning, and he wants the help of the general public. Now, do you know about that?
No, but I want a bit of help from you, and so does Geraldine.
Hugo has lost his dog.
Yes. I'm sorry, we'll deal with that in a second or two.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, Hugo's dog isn't important? Is that what you're saying?
No, it is important.
Well, I want to deal with Hugo's dog now, because now I've got
there's a Kerry Blue missing in Kilkeel as well. Right, okay.
Well, colour me yellow.
Right. Well, this is what Geraldine and I want to know now before we move on to Hugo's dog.
Yes.
Are you giving away something this morning? You having a competition?
No, I'm giving away Kenny's cards, but only to special people. Right. Kenny's card, which says on the back side of it, I'm just a yodel away. I'll decide who's a special person.
Wait a minute now. You're giving away Kenny's card?
Yeah.
Not Kenny's CD?
No, Kenny's card. I'm just a yodel away. These are very precious. I've only got 2 or 3 of them.
But how are we to decide?
No, you're not to decide. No, I will decide who's a special person.
But how?
If there are any special people out there, ring up and talk to me. I'll decide if you're a special person. And if I think you are a special person, I'll give you Kenny's card, which says, I'm just a yodel away. It's nothing to do with you. I'm going to call out the middleman this time because I don't trust you to decide what a special person is. You'll probably give these away to your relatives.
So right? How are we to handle this?
Just put me through people you think who might be special. It's as simple as that. I don't think that's particularly...
So you only want special people to ring?
Yeah.
And you want Americans to ring as well?
When I mean special people, I don't mean, special people.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I mean people that I think are special.
That you would have a wee soft spot for?
Yeah, in other words, women.
Right, so you only give them to girls?
Under 25. All women under 25 who ring, put them straight through to me, and I'll give them one of these cards. What about...
You only have 2?
2 what?
Cards.
Well, 1's enough. Isn't it? 2's... greedy. Hugo has lost his dog.
Well,
seriously.
Will you
stop? Hugo, if Hugo's listening, he'd be very upset because you're trying to stop me talking about Hugo's dog for reasons because you don't like animals. Now, just keep quiet for a minute.
All I want is turned off.
No, I won't turn you up because I want to ask you something now in a minute. But I want to say this first. Hugo Duncan has lost his dog from his house. Hugo lives in Strabane. He lost his dog on Tuesday night. It's a brown boxer.
Couldn't see Hugo with a dog.
Yes. Why not?
Hugo's not a doggy boy.
Yes, of course he is. He loves animals, not like you. The dog...
This must be a new thing.
It's not a new thing. Hugo has always loved 4-legged animals. Now, brown boxer in Strabane, it's probably wandering round. It answers to the name of Nala. N-A-L-A. Okay? Nala. So anybody...
Nala?
Yes. Nala. What's wrong with that? That's from Narnia or something, isn't it?
Nala.
Yeah, there is this... that's a familiar name. It's from some film, isn't it?
Nala.
You can't see yourself calling a dog Nala, can you?
I can't see Hugo calling his dog Nala.
Why not?
Nala. You try calling Nala.
Nala!
You have to go away.
Sounds okay to me.
It's way far too high.
What do you prefer? Spot? Darky Catholic?
But when you shout Nala, you've got to go way up high.
Nala!
You see? Nala.
Okay.
Nala, who's got the ball?
Yes, Alabala, Nala. Okay, right, so Hugo's dog, keep an eye out for Hugo's dog because he'd be eternally grateful. And he's very fond of it. He's had it for 8 or 9 years.
Is there a reward?
But I don't know. Probably, I'd say yes. I'd say yes. We didn't talk about that. We don't talk about money. We don't think like you, Sean. With you, everything is a price. Hugo and I understand each other because both of us are dog lovers. I sympathise with him in his loss. He's had the dog for 8 or 9 years and is very attached to it now, as indeed is his family. And I'm being serious now. It's a dog. It's called Nala. It's a brown boxer. It disappeared on Tuesday night in the Strabane area, so keep your eye out for it.
Did he have a collar on it?
There was no collar on it as far as...
Did he have is there a name tag? Has it been chipped?
And his passion book was sticking out of his arse.
Yeah. All right. He's a great example to the rest of the Northern Irelanders. No collar, no name on it, nothing. They expect to get the dog back.
You just can't say a civil word about anybody, can you? You just can't.
If you have a dog, collar it and name it. Now turn me off, please.
You're so hateful. You're just a big girl. It's blouse, aren't you? I'm going to turn you. Talk about nanny state. You should be the president. Okay? Here's a lady who wrote me a very, very nice letter. This is another serious thing, actually. A lady from Lima Valley, and she's disabled, and she's a wheelchair user. And she wants to know, would anyone out there... She's looking for a carer, a private carer at home, right? So anyone in Lima Valley would be prepared to meet her and talk about that. She's wheelchair bound, and she wants someone to look after her, basically. And she's going to, it's a business proposition. So anyone out there who'd be interested in anything like that, give us a ring here, and we have her number here. Very nice lady. She sent me a lovely letter, and she seems to need a little help. So anyone out there who can help her at all in the Lima Valley area, be interested in meeting that lady and having a talking about, maybe if they could work something out, give us a ring here, and I'll give you your number. Okay, I'm going to play a record now, if there's no one on the phone. Hello?
What?
Sorry, what? I don't know.
He didn't like it, the passion. Right. Yeah. Right.
Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. Help me find the party trying to get in touch with me. She would not leave her number, but I know who placed the call. 'Cause my uncle took the message and he wrote it on the wall. Help me information, get in touch with my Marie. She's the only one who called me here from Memphis, Tennessee. Her home is on the south side, high up on a ridge, just about a half a mile from the Mississippi Bridge. Help me information, more than that I cannot add. Only that I miss her and all the fun we had. But we were pulled apart 'cause her mom would not agree. Tore apart our happy home in Memphis, Tennessee. Last time I saw Maria, she was waving me goodbye, with her drops on her cheeks that trickled from her eyes. Maria's only 6 years old. Information, please. Try and put me through to her in Memphis, Tennessee.
Isn't that great? I love that record. That's Eleanor McAvoy. That's an album called Early Hours, and that's a song called Memphis, Tennessee. Do you want to know the situation about it? Oh, for God's sake. Right, I have to read something here. What is it? Oh, yeah, a gentleman sent me a $5 the other day, and he said he'd give it to me if I didn't say the word basically for 2 days. I was in the point of sending off more money as promised if you're able to go through the programme without the use of that terrible word. Unfortunately, when I introduced in the last item about a record of a Mrs. Brawley on Tuesday's word show, you used the word when there was no necessity whatsoever to do so. However, to give you another chance, I'm prepared to wait until early April. All right then, okay, sorry about that. I don't usually say, basically. I don't know what happened to me. Something came over me. Here's another email. How's tricks, the person said. Just thought I'd drop you a little email again, just to let you know I still listen to your show, even though you don't read them out, what is happening. You don't read your emails anymore. I do, of course. You're too busy with people on the phone. I did call on the phone, but the show was nearly over and did not get a chance to speak to you. I blame Sean Coyle for this, as you maybe would read your emails if he didn't keep saying things like, there's a man on 2, wants to talk to you. Maybe you could read my email. But I would like to know why your song Billy Jones is not on the CD. Well, there's a dark one now, and I'll get my revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold. That's all I'm going to say. And will I ever be able to get a copy of it? Well, I hope so, in our forthcoming Christmas album, which I am making. I was gutted, to say the least, to find out I was not on it. The Billy Jones, Little Boy Up a Tree, was not on it. Well, you see, many people have been disappointed and registered their dismay upon buying the merchandise, discovering that I had no input in it at all, except for an odd warble. But this is the way show business goes, and I've been too nice to people. Sometimes if you're nice and you look the other way, you're stabbed in the back. But I've learned. Let me know anyway. I'll be listening out today and will not be tempted by Terry Wogan yet. No, don't go to the flesh pots of Wogan. Stay here with your countrymen. Here is a picture of a pig for Sean, and he encloses a picture of a porker for Sean, because he likes pigs, because they scratch themselves on stones. Yes, you do, don't you? I've got a photo of a pig for you. I'll bring it in later, and you can look at it. We want to know why, how. We want to know.
We still haven't got an American.
What's wrong with the people, Americans out there?
David's on one.
There's enough when you say something bad about them, isn't there?
David's on one. It's 10 to 11.
I know there's... Hold on a minute. Will you, for God's sake, can't you see I'm busy? Look, I'm trying to put records on and do everything. Look, and right. I'm trying to fix all these things on the top of me desk and everything. Look, there's a Van Morrison CD. Look, came out of nowhere. Nobody knows what it is. It's called Once in a Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah.
You're bored with it. Please congratulate Tom Martin on passing his IFA referee exams. That's a joke in itself, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh. Isn't it? Is that a joke?
No.
They actually do exams.
Yeah.
But how do they get their guide dogs in? Hope the young buck doesn't get too much hassle on the football pitch. That's from Andy and all the staff at mailboxes, etc. Botanic Avenue, Belfast. No, we wish Tom all the best, don't we, Sean?
We do.
We like referees.
Yeah. Would you talk to David, please?
Yeah, of course I will.
Oh, yeah,
that's why I'm here.
Right.
That's what I'm here for. Hello, good morning, David.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you, sir?
I'm not doing too bad, and yourself?
I couldn't be better, actually. Funnily enough, I'm really well.
That's not surprising with all the time off that you get in that.
Well, that was a cruel dart there. I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't think it was a cruel dart because you're the head of the BBC Radio Ulster.
No, thank you for that. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but maybe perhaps that title is in the offing. No, I am taking a day off tomorrow, and maybe a couple of days off next week.
I would think, Gerry, once you see that video we've done, you'll take a couple of days off.
Oh, that's the video that you're going to give to me tonight?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to that. And you're coming along, are you?
Yes, we're going to come along, so we are, and we've also something for Mr. Coyle as well. We don't want to leave him out.
Listen, hold on a minute, just before we go any further. Give me your name again.
It's David Girvin.
David Girvin. I forgot to put your name. I'm glad you rang. I'm glad you rang, because I forgot...
Were we going to be left outside with just the banners?
You were going to be, yeah. No, I forgot to put your name on the list. I did. I swear, and I'm glad you rang. And many will be with you.
There'll be myself, young
David Campbell,
and John Mullen.
Just the two of you. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because, Sean, wasn't I making the list up this morning? He's not even listening. I made the list up this morning, and I wrote your name down on a separate piece of paper. And the separate piece of paper disappeared, and it's only when you come on there something occurred to me. I've already done the list this morning. I'll add your name on it, don't you worry, sir.
Oh, that's good. I'm thankful to hear that, Gerry.
I'm glad you rang, because you'd have been standing outside.
I've been standing outside with just our posters off you and everything. And
I wouldn't have known you see. I wouldn't have known, I had never met you before.
Oh, well, aren't you lucky? But, Gerry, the reason why I'm on to you this morning is, have you heard of this BBC Talent?
What?
BBC Talent. They're looking for all these new people to come on board to the BBC.
Yes, so they can get rid of people like me.
Yes, well, I was on because I was wanting to ask you, is there any tips you could give me, seeing as you're such a refined broadcaster in your own right,
Indeed, yes.
that you could give me that I perhaps could go on the airwaves too sometime?
There's only one thing I would say to you, and I would give this advice to all budding broadcasters. Do not try and copy anyone. Do not try and be anything that you're not. Because all you have to do is look around you.
Yes.
Be yourself. If they don't like you, being yourself, do something else. But under no circumstance, change to be the way people expect you to be, or the way you think people expect you to be. Be yourself. If they don't like you, do something else. Don't change your personality to go on the radio, because you'll end up like Nicky Campbell.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And you'll be... See, what happens is, once you change your personality to go on the radio or television, you adopt a false persona, right?
Yes.
Because you think that is what will get you on. That will not get you on. It'll make people laugh at you. It might get you a job, but you'll hate yourself for the rest of your life, because you'll be living a lie. You'll be pretending that you're something that you're not. And you'll have to always keep pretending. You'll have to be always on your toes. But the thing is, if you are being yourself, you need never have to worry about it.
Oh, right.
And it's easy to be yourself. And if being yourself works, you're so lucky. But if not being yourself doesn't work, get another job.
Well, that's very profound.
I think so. There's maybe... It's quite rare that being yourself works. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm doing it, or I'm doing one or the other. I've my own particular thing.
Well, I've seen you, Gerry, and outside, and I've seen you on the radio. Sometimes you can be different. I've noticed that.
Would you care to explain that?
Yes, you can see yourself when you're outside, but you can't see yourself when you're on the radio.
And what do you mean by that? Do you mean that I'm different? Do you mean that I'm a little hateful? I'm hateful? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, anything but it. You're the opposite.
See, if anything, I err on the side of timidity. Mm-hmm. I'm quite shy. Sean knows that. What? You know that I'm quite shy. Sometimes on radio and television, I pretend to have this big personality. But in actual fact, you know that I'm quite shy.
Yeah. You're quite shy, and you're very generous to people.
Mm-hmm. I'm a very generous person too, aren't I, Sean? Except maybe to you.
Won't go that far.
That's a step too far, isn't it?
Well, will you be buying Sean the drink for tonight for him to stay?
There'll be no drinks. I'm going to have to tell you something now. I haven't had a drink since last Saturday.
I'll not be drinking either.
I won't be drinking until about 12.
No, I'm driving home, you say, so I had no drink for me.
Never stopped you before.
No drink.
Is he leaving before the end again?
No, he's staying until the end.
I'm staying until the end.
Two of us are staying until...
Keep an eye on him.
Two of us are staying until the death. Mm-hmm. We'll be there at the very end.
And will you be singing your song tonight, the Perriers?
No, we won't, actually.
No, we're doing that in the Ulster Hall.
We're doing that earlier on.
I'll never remember it. Will you remember your lines?
Of course, I've only got a couple.
You've got two.
I've seen you on the Gerry Kelly show, Gerry, and you nearly jumped in at one stage.
Well, you see, someone has to. When I see a thing being done badly, it's very difficult for me to keep out, but it's his thing. Sorry to talk about you as if you're not there, Sean.
Yeah.
But it often feels as if you're not. Well, no, we're singing tonight on the Ulster Hall, aren't we?
Stephen Noel said we never sold any copies.
It's a lying wee shit.
Nah.
Where can you buy it, Gerry?
Everywhere. It's on
I've
sale.
been in the big W and Woolworths and that, and they don't have it.
No, you can't get it in Woolworths. No, sorry. No, when I say you can't get it in Woolworths, because it's a whole thing. Woolworths only sells certain things, which doesn't include what we do.
Oh.
No, you get it anywhere else but Woolworths.
You get it in Virgin.
Virgin, yeah.
Oh, can you?
Isn't that ironic? You can get it in Virgin or HMV or any of the good record shops, Golden Discs. And by the way, before we go any further talking about our singles night tonight, it's important that I say at this point, Mr. Coyle, about the tickets. There are a certain amount of tickets available on the door tonight, and that's all. That's the only place you can get them.
Right.
There's a certain amount of tickets available on the door tonight. There's no point in going anywhere else. Am I boring you?
No, I was all hunched up there. And
I saw that. I was just wondering, if I was boring you in any way.
Oh, my posture was all wrong, and I wanted to straighten my back. And when I straightened my back, a big lump of wind had come out. Up through my mouth. I sighed.
Well, there's lumps of other things that, would be worse. Yeah. The only way that your posture will be right would be if somebody breaks your back and then resets it. It's not a terrible thing to say.
It was an awful thing to say.
But no, Charlie, and I'm sorry about that. It was a terrible thing to say. Yeah. It's just that I'm used to being so defensive. You see, what's that man's name? David?
It's me, yes.
David, you have no idea what it's like for me here, David. I'm continually being assailed and accused of many things, which I have not done. And I'm accused of being shallow, about being greedy.
You have
all
a spare
kinds of
tire?
stuff. What?
You have a spare tyre.
Accused of being fat.
No, but I can see it sitting here. Now that I've straightened myself up and I'm sitting upright in my chair, I can see over the top of your desk, at the top of your trousers.
It's only a wee tiny
and I
one.
see a wee lump of fat hanging out all around your...
It was bigger in the Kelly show. Yeah. It's going away gradually.
That's not fat that you have there. Sure, it's not. You're just allergic to food and that sense of swelling in your stomach.
No, I have to admit it. I was getting a little porky there. On the Kelly show, it was very noticeable, but a number of people have pointed out to me that I was fat there.
I just think you wanted to make Sean feel as if he was just the same as you.
Well, he is just the same as me in many ways, an unemployed Catholic. We came up the hard way, didn't we? Not everybody gets in here.
Well, Gerry, I'll keep it to what you were saying to me. You were buying a drink tonight.
I will buy you a drink.
Oh, God bless you.
I'm getting a special dispensation from the bank to get money out. To buy drink for strangers.
You need a mortgage?
No. Yes, it is a bit dear, isn't it? But sure, we're used to that. There's worse places than that. Well, okay, we'll see you tonight then.
Okay, Gerry.
Okay, good luck, my son.
Okay, look forward
to it. Thank you for bringing... Bye. There was no need for you to say that I was fat. There was no need for you to say...
I'm not saying you're fat, I just said I've noticed your spare tyre.
There was no need for that.
Are they jugs? What do you call those wee things? Love jugs or love... What do you call them things?
Love handles.
Is that what it is? All right. Love jugs was close.
The love jugs are different.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what they are.
Well, you should. Right, I think...
Is that right?
I think we'll just...
Is that right? Gerry's telling me to be quiet. I don't know what I said.
You should go out more.
Should I?
A love jug is a different thing entirely. Right, we shall be back. Gerry knows, that's why she's covering her eyes. We'll be back shortly.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock. This is the news with Linda Ray. The Immigration Minister, Beverly Hughes, has resigned over claims that thousands of immigration applications from Eastern Europe were waved through. The allegations came to light after revelations from whistleblowers. From Westminster, Joanna Shin reports.
The one thing that Beverly Hughes never lacked was the esteem of the Prime Minister and Home Secretary. But in the face of allegations from whistleblowers that immigrants were being allowed into Britain with minimal checks, Conservative calls for her resignation increased. Tory leader Michael Howard at Prime Minister's questions yesterday.
Isn't it the case, Mr. Speaker, that the Home Secretary has lost control of his department, that the Immigration Minister is clearly not up to her job, and that the government's immigration system is an utter and complete shambles?
The first time allegations of blanket approval of migration were raised in Sheffield, it was found that Beverly Hughes did not know about the situation, but further claims came to light suggesting that she did. One from the British consul in Romania suggested claims that immigrants were abusing the system was just the tip of the iceberg.
Army bomb experts are examining a suspicious object in Ballymoney. Builders working at Belford Park found the object close to a digger this morning. 5 homes have been evacuated and the area has been sealed off. The government will publish the long-awaited Corey report on 4 murders here in about an hour's time. It's believed they will only be able to recommend proceeding with public inquiries into the Hamill, Wright and Nelson murders. It's understood an inquiry into the killing of solicitor Pat Finucane will be delayed because of legal proceedings. The government is also expected to announce a consultation process on how best to deal with the unsolved killings linked to the Troubles. The body of an off-duty Northern Ireland soldier killed in Iraq is being flown back to Bryce Norton military base in England today. An inquest into Christopher MacDonald's death is to be held before his remains are transferred to his family here. The 39-year-old colour sergeant, who was on resettlement leave, died after masked gunmen opened fire in his vehicle in the northern Iraqi city of Mosul on Sunday. The General Consumer Council is advising people who use Phoenix Natural Gas to take a meter reading and send it to the company. It follows a 20% increase in the cost of gas from Phoenix, despite objections from the electricity and gas regulator and consumer groups. Phoenix says it's been forced to make the increase to meet a rise in the wholesale cost of gas. Eleanor Gill, the head of the Consumer Council, says it's important that customers take the reading today.
The reality of the situation is that consumers in Northern Ireland morning today are facing this 20% price increase. We want to ensure that customers are not paying bills based on an estimate, but on an accurate reading. This is very important so that they are either not under or overcharged for their usage of gas.
Clarence House has said it's considering what action to take against the Sun newspaper for taking pictures of Prince William and a woman said to be his girlfriend. It says the paper has flagrantly breached a media agreement to leave the Prince in peace during his skiing holiday in the Swiss resort of Cloisters after an official photocall on Sunday. The weather cloudy and breezy with a few showers. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news. In Banbridge, roadworks are taking place on the A26 Lurgan Road. Traffic lights will be in place at Huntley Road until Saturday and delays can be expected. Meanwhile, in Newton Abbey, the Carntull Road remains closed at its junction with the A8 and work will be ongoing there for another week. In County Fermanagh, the A3 Cavan Road is closed at the border. Diversions are signposted there. And finally, in Cookstown, both Molesworth Street and Molesworth Road remain closed as installation work continues until next Sunday. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news from BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback today, truth and justice for the Corrie poor, but her 1,800 others to be wiped from the files. The Cyprus situation to the Greeks and the Turks make our little problems seem easy to solve. And gas customers, have you had a letter from a Pamela Ingram? Is she the Jim Figerty of Phoenix? Fascinated? Yeah, all that and much more on Talkback after the news at noon.
Thank you, David. Coming up to 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. Gerry Anderson here. I'll be here until 12 o'clock. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my chair here. It's 08459 555 678 if you want to ring this programme as usual, or email gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. I'm just going to take some of those out now. Or Little Filthy Fingers, text 81771. I think that's it, yeah. Here's a nice little record which I quite like. It's not the usual, you know. It's called State of Grace by a country singer called Pierce Pettis. I kind of like this. I don't know why. And maybe you like it too. Maybe you won't. Take a chance on it.
My hands and I take my place, bow my head, clean my plate, think and act, and I talk this way, for I was raised in a state of grace. Well, I always know right where I am, from Muscle Shoals down to Birmingham, from the rolling hills clear to Mobile Bay, where I come from is a state of grace. Up and down, I'm left and right, I'm rich and poor, black and white. I am not alone, I am not ashamed to make my home in a state of grace. of the whippoorwill as moonlight falls over cotton fields. And if I should die before I wake, I will lay me down in a state of grace. Well, I wash my hands, I take my place, bow my head, I clean my plate. I think and act, not talk this way, for I was raised in a state of
That's good, that, isn't it? That's Pierce Pettis, Pettis. I think he's particularly known. I think he's known all right here. I think, didn't Julia Turner support him somewhere, I think? That's a song called State of Grace. The album is called State of Grace. That was out it's out a couple of years now. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, yes, good morning, hello.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, hello.
I wonder if you could help me, or your listeners.
Yes.
I had an accident about a month ago. I keep canaries, and I was bringing the feeding utensils out of the shed, and I slipped and broke a lot of these wee white glass jars.
Yeah.
And I sent away to England for replacements, but they sent the plastic ones back, which are very light. Now, these glass jars that I use were they used to hold Prince's salmon paste and fish paste. I got them years ago.
Oh, I know the ones you mean. I know the ones you mean. Yeah.
And there's a bit of weight about them, you see, and the birds can't push them about.
That's right, yeah.
So I was trying to get some, but they're off the market now for a good number of years. So I was wondering if any of your listeners might have some stashed away somewhere they could let me have. Or
you're looking for those particular type of jars?
Yeah.
Well, good. Just name them again and describe them again for me.
Well, there were Princess spread or salmon spread.
Princess spread, and sure, I have some at home. They're anchovies.
Anchovy.
You get anchovy spread as well.
It's they're white. They're white glass though. They're not clear glass.
Oh no, those ones that I have are actually what would you call them? They're not Delphi.
Plastic or
they're not plastic. No, they're what do you call that? Kind of stone. I don't know what it is. They're quite heavy. And it was anchovy spread was in them.
Anchovy spread, aye.
Well, it was the same thing, like fish spread, whatever.
Yeah, well,
I think that's what he's looking for.
That's what Bob's looking for.
No, he's looking for glass ones.
Yeah, but they're white glass.
These are white glass.
They're heavy. They're heavy. You can't see through them. Is that right, Bob?
This is true, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you have, isn't it?
That's what I have,
yeah. That's what he wants to have.
When I hear glass, I think about being able to see through it.
No.
I see what you mean. Yes, I have those, yes, yeah.
Did you get these recently, or...?
Oh, no, they've been hanging around our house for a long time, God knows. You pick them up in old shops, don't you? You pick them up in kind of, not necessarily antique shops, you pick them up in curio shops, don't you?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any about. I've been looking for them for a while, but...
Where did you get yours, Gerry?
I got mine of a friend I used to work with who...
I'm wondering where Gerry got his.
Oh, where Gerry got his?
Yeah. Could you tell Bob where you got yours? Where did you buy them? I don't think it's the sort of thing you spent your Saturday afternoon doing.
Well, I have a history of shoplifting, as you know.
Yes, we know that.
Never mind where I got mine.
Where did you get yours?
Never mind where I got mine. That's
okay, don't tell me. Why didn't you tell Bob?
I can't remember where I got mine. That's one of those things. I mean, you don't remember where you get all your anchovy spread, do you? I just don't know where I got them. But, I would imagine is there such a thing as Smithfield anymore? Is it any good at all? I know there's a Smithfield anymore, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
But is it the same as it used to be?
It's different now.
But remember you used to be able to wander around there and find everything.
Yes, yeah.
Did you, maybe, do you live in Belfast? Maybe
no, I live in Lisburn.
Oh, for God's sake, no. Well, that's the only thing I would suggest. Take a wander around somewhere like that. Kind of a huckster place.
Yeah.
You see everything lying about. An old antique shop, basically, that's not too dear. There's two type of antique shops. There's a type of antique shop you come across in some place in Donegal. You go in there and they've old stuff and you can buy it reasonably.
Yeah,
or you get the antique shops where they look down their nose at you. They're selling all the silver,
well, I didn't think there'd be a quantity of these in.
Is that a huckster shop?
Well, I'll have a look about then.
Is it?
see what I can turn up.
Sean, what is wrong with you?
Is the shop that you're sending Bob to, is it they even known as huckster?
Well,
huckster
did
shop?
I say that? I think I used the word huckster, did I?
Did you? That's what I'm saying.
Well, you see, a huckster
I know
shop,
exactly what you mean.
there's very few huckster shops left. I am very fond of huckster shops. The only place you get a huckster shop now is, well, kind of Donegal, in the backward regions of Donegal. You know, in the more forward regions, you know, the ones where people are building holiday homes and they've kind of died out. But you know where the real people are. There's still huckster shops.
Where?
In Donegal, I said. I can't name you anywhere in particular. They're not. They're spread around.
Well, how's Bob supposed to find them if you?
But he's in Lisburn. He's not come to Donegal.
But he may have people. He may have relatives.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you drive around Donegal,
is there any in Dunfanaghy?
No, especially not in Dunfanaghy.
Oh, right. Well, we're just trying to
do you hear what I said?
Okay,
Dunfanaghy's a place where everybody lives. Nobody lives there.
Would there be a huckster shop in Rathmullen?
No, Gay Byrne goes there. There wouldn't be a huckster shop there.
What about Rafo?
There's one near Mallinhead.
Where does Sean Rafferty live?
Sean Rafferty lives in Church Hill.
Would there be one in Church Hill?
No, too swanky.
Well,
that's where the stranded gentry live.
Practically covered Donegal.
Look, I just told you a minute ago. You're not listening. There's one near Mallinhead.
Whereabouts?
But you see, what you do is you drive along. These places aren't in towns usually. They're usually by the side of the road. Some old woman is in there, and she's never there at all. She's always in the back drinking tea. And you'll see a house, and you'll see a kind of a antiques. They usually advertise on it, but they're not antiques. It's a huckster shop.
Wonderful information. Wonderful information. Bob knows exactly now where to go. He knows exactly where to go. He drives along a road and he waits to see a house where there's a wee woman, but she's not in it. She's out the back and she's drinking tea, and she'd have a big long skirt on her.
And there'll be old cartwheels outside and stuff. Yes, right. And maybe the odd chicken. And you'll see a little sign saying antiques, but it doesn't mean antiques. When you see it, it'll be
huckster shop.
It's kind of handwritten sign.
Oh yes, I know that shop. Yes.
Don't be sarcastic, please. I'm trying to help this man as best
You're
I
not
can.
helping him at all.
No, what I'm telling the people is that they go to Donegal, and there are two types of antique shops, but they're all called antique shops. There's the ones that you dare not go into because they'll rip you off.
And how will Bob know which one to go into?
Because the sign is always rotten. The signs are always scored out in a biro.
And the woman's not in.
And the woman's not in. When you walk in, there's nobody there. That's how you know you're in the right place if there's nobody there.
Right.
There's a whole lot of people coming up and saying, can you help me? You're in the wrong place. Right. Understand what I'm saying? Right. You go in and you look and you could steal everything and nobody would know. That's when you know you're in the right place, and that's where you'll find the things for your canaries.
Would you get a dresser in there?
You'd get a dress. No, too big.
Too big?
Too big. You get wee things like, would you get a
tongs. Basin? Would you get a basin?
You get a basin.
A Delft basin?
Get a Delft basin, yeah.
Right.
And you might get a bit of a spinning wheel, but you wouldn't get the whole thing.
Right.
And you get maybe a bridle for a horse.
Oh, right.
You get that kind of thing. And you get an old bowl for your tea.
Right. A pole?
No, a bowl. You get a pole, but it's probably cracked.
Right.
There's bacteria in the crack. And you get old stout bottles. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
And you get the old kind of wee jam things. You know, the things you used to put jam in.
Yeah.
And you get, do you know the little milk jugs? You get them. What? And you get plates with Chinese things on them.
Forks.
You get old forks, rusted forks. And you get plates, with Chinese things on them. Remember, everybody used to have a dresser full of Chinese plates. Do you remember that? You get all that.
Would you get a tin plate?
You get a tin plate, of course you would.
Right.
And, and there'll be a cat jumping about.
I would not go into it then.
That's exactly, keep you out. That's why I said that, to stop you going in. So there you are. I don't know if this is any help to you or not, but maybe people out there would know somewhere in the Lisburn area. Any huckster shops in Lisburn?
I'm sure there's one or two.
The army probably flushed them all out. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody would ring us and help and tell us where you would get items like that. Or indeed, a huckster shop, you could go and look through it.
Would you get a mirror?
You get a mirror, definitely. And sometimes you get big mirrors with kind of gold gilt on them. You know, those ones.
Well,
would
you get a headboard for a bed?
Will you stop now? You get a headboard for a bed. You get a mattress too, probably, with a hole in it. There's one great shop. I don't want to talk about it because it's the greatest shop I was ever in.
Why do you don't want to talk about it?
Because it's
precious. You don't want people to go to it.
No, because they would ruin it if everybody went to it.
Yeah, well, have you any idea? Could you tell us where it is, roughly? Is it a huckster shop?
No, it's not. It should be, but it's not. It actually sells shoes and clothes.
Ooh. Right.
I'll give you a choice.
Is it Northern Ireland?
No, yes, it is. I'll give you. It's in one of these places.
Right.
I'll give you a clue.
Right.
Ocher Clocher 5 Mile Town. It's in one of those.
Right. And it sells shoes.
And there's never anybody in it when you go in.
And clothes.
It's the greatest thing. You go in and there's one shoe. And there's no sign of the other one.
Right.
And there's a big pile of clothes. It's the greatest shop I was ever in.
And what were you doing in it?
Because I saw it. And I said, this looks good.
And did you buy anything?
Not at all. There's nobody there.
All right.
There's nobody there. There's a man at the back. So I went in and looked around it and I said to myself, this is
Do they sell hats?
No.
Is it a gents outfit?
No, it's unisex.
It's most unusual?
It is unusual. They sell shoes and clothes. The clothes are in a big pile in the corner. It's the greatest shop I've ever seen. I said to myself, I will not tell anyone about this. So I haven't told you. I even know the name of it.
So, the clothes are in a pile in the corner. Now, are you telling me now, say if I wanted a pair of trousers, size 32 waist, 30 and a half inside leg.
What's your inside leg again?
30 and a half.
Boaster.
Right?
That. Your
How would I
never
find...
31. Your leg's never, inside leg's never 31 and a
Yes,
half.
it is.
No, you've really stumpy legs.
The longer leg, and you've talked about this
No, you
before.
have not.
We talked about this before.
You have not.
Where would I get the trousers?
At the bottom of the pile, you have to rummage through the pile. And if you want a pair of shoes, you see a shoe that you like, there's only one there. And you don't see where the other one is. This man's getting fed up now on the other end of the phone, I think. What's this man's name?
Bob,
I'm sorry. We're just talking about stuff.
I know you're all right.
Sorry about
You're all
that.
right, no problem.
That's all we can help. If anyone can help you, we urge them to give us a ring, and then we'll pass the information on to you.
Right, that's very kind.
All right then, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. I know the name of the shop.
John's on 2.
I know the name of the shop, but I'm not going to give it because I might embarrass the proprietor. So there's a little treasure hunt for anyone. Right. It's in either Ocher, Clocher or 5 Mile Town.
Well, there's a man living in your old town.
A man going from Omagh to Enniskillen would need to pass through 3 of those 3 places.
I bet you this
and
man
a man who had an hour to spare could have great fun trying to find that shop. And when they find it, they'll know it.
Do you remember collars for shirts?
Collar attached, collar detached.
Do you remember?
People used to say, what kind of a shirt do you want? Collar attached or collar detached?
Yeah. Stud.
Stud, yeah. That's what they call me. Snowy stud. Where is this person here?
He's in Cookstown.
I know, but where?
He's in 2.
Yeah, thanks. Hello.
Hello, Gerry.
Good morning, sir.
I didn't thought I was going to get talking to you today again.
It takes a while.
It takes a while. That man in the Canaries.
Yes.
As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm nearly sure. Those white things that he's looking, they still sell them in most supermarkets.
Is that a fact?
They've got the crab meat and stuff in them.
Crab meat?
And,
that's yes.
little glass things for...
little vials,
breakfast marmalade and stuff.
Marmalade, like yes. Well, see, he probably never thought of that. And is there a bit of a weight to them?
Oh, they're all weight, yes, and they've got one of those screw-on,
Yes, but I mean, is there a bit of a weight to them?
Oh, there's good weight to them, yeah.
So the whole thing is that all these things you get in the supermarket now are all feather light.
Oh, no, these is...
well, there's an idea. Or what about those little Marmite jars, that kind of thing?
Well, I suppose that would be similar to the ones that I'm speaking about.
So if you get into a supermarket, any large supermarket, and wanders about and looks at...
It doesn't necessarily have to be a large one, but I see those white glass, or whatever kind of... I suppose it could be called glass.
Yeah, I wouldn't... Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't call it glass. I would call it... But I wouldn't know what to call it. But I wouldn't call it glass, but I know what you mean.
They've got all the different jams in them.
That's right.
They're white.
That's right. Well, there's an idea for him. I know he's still listening.
Yeah.
Check the supermarket. Check all those little...
He wouldn't have to go to that shop where you only can find one shoe.
That's right, yeah, but we weren't really advising him. We were talking about huckster shops, and then we went on from that to something else.
Yeah, that huckster shop, when you went in, you said you could only find one shoe.
Yeah, well, I saw one that I liked, but...
I don't know which foot you're looking, the left foot or the right foot.
Well, you see, it all depends which foot I kick with.
That's what I dig with. You were on yesterday about Carrickfergus, George.
Yes. Don't call me George.
Sorry, Gerry.
Did you hear that?
Pardon me?
He called me George.
Why George, then?
There's a huckster shop in Bundoran on the way to the chapel.
Is there? Is there really? Well, what do you mean on the way to the chapel? What does that mean?
I don't know.
The chapel on the hill.
Is that on the main street?
On the way to the chapel? I don't know.
Well, where's the chapel, for God's sake?
I don't know. Just
is it off the main drag in Bundoran? I was in Bundoran 2 weeks ago. It's a maze of amusement arcades. It's frightening.
Yeah.
It really is frightening to Bundoran.
I never really liked Bundoran.
No, I don't think do I.
No. Apparently you were drinking on Sunday night.
Was I?
Yes.
Oh, I drank like a fish on Sunday night.
Yes.
Never mind that.
No, you said you hadn't had drinks on Saturday. You were caught out.
I meant Sunday.
Yes, that's all.
All right. Well, thank you for that. What was this man? Sorry, what were we talking about there? Oh, yes, in Bundoran. Sorry. Yes, sir?
Carrickfergus.
Carrickfergus, yes, go ahead.
I have got it on tape here. If you it, I'll switch it on as loud as I can.
What are you going to switch on?
I'm not going to sing it. There's a people called the Freeman.
Are you going to play me?
I'll play a bit of it, and you can cut it off as soon as whenever you like.
All right.
But you cut me off 3 or 4 times, yourself.
I'm sorry.
Talking to that other man.
I know. It's
right, I'll switch it on now. You just hold a second, George. There I go again, George.
He'll pay for that, I'll tell you. He'll pay for that. I'm going to switch it off right away before he even started.
No, you have to hear it.
I know, I have to hear it, George. Well, Hugo.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, yeah. It's a bit in the distance, isn't it? That's not Carrickfergus at all.
No, but it's on after this.
We really can't wait, you know.
Well, that's it now. There now.
How are you making it out?
No, it's that.
We're okay. We're just waiting.
There you are now.
That sounds like it. Yeah. Could you turn it up a bit?
How's it coming through?
Turn it up a bit. Give it a bit of the holly. That'll be a traditional rendering then.
How's that?
That's great, yeah. Thanks for that.
That's nice. That's the Freeman.
Is it? That's every pub in Ireland. That's what that is. No, every pub in Ireland you go into and the guy goes up and he sings like that, doesn't he? That's New York, yeah.
Does John sing?
And now we have John Joe McKenna from Letterkenny. He's going to sing Carrickfergus for all you people here in New York. Come on, John Joe. Here he goes now. Come on, John Joe. Come on, John Joe.
I'll turn it off. I can't hear you, John.
That's all right, George.
There's a man on too.
I know, he'll have to wait. John Joe from Letterkenny, he's been blind from birth. He's going to sing the song called Carrickfergus. Come on, John Joe, give us a bit of a crack there, bye. Blind from birth.
I don't want nobody better off alone. I'm sworn to independence. My heart is made of stone, but you're breaking on through. Oh, there's something about you. I've been tapping my toe to the way you talk. I've been singing along when I watch the way you walk. I got to do something about you. I got this place of mine, it's nice and quiet and I like it fine. Work real hard, got no time for you. But I whiskeyed up my coffee cup, sitting here trying not to call you up. And it's getting to where I don't know what to do. Something about you. Something about you like distant thunder. I can't say I've been warned, but there's no shelter to crawl under. Even gonna save me from this storm. There's something about you, baby, I can't shake. Something about you that's been keeping me awake the whole night through. There's something about you. I got this
life of mine, it's nice and quiet and I like it fine. Work real hard, got no time for you. But I whiskeyed up my coffee cup, sitting here trying not to call you up, and it's getting to where I don't know what to do. Something about you, something about you, baby.
That song was familiar to people a while ago. That was used in a Tuborg ad, wasn't it? That's Kevin Welsh. That's a song called Something About You. Remember the fella used to drink the drink and he goes, that's from an album called Western Beat on the Dead Reckoning label. Right. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard it, yeah.
Just come out of nowhere.
Eddie says, do you remember Buck Jones? I don't. Do you?
Buck Alec?
No, Buck Jones.
Buck Jones.
He was a cowboy, apparently.
No, I don't remember Buck Jones, for God's sake. What do you think? I'm 105 years old? I don't remember him. There's someone breathing heavily on the line there.
That's Frank.
Frank, good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Jerry.
Sorry, I wasn't aware that I'd plugged you in there.
Did you know Buck Alec?
No, I didn't, actually. Buck Alec on the line? No, I didn't.
Oh, the land had no teeth, you know.
Well, so they say, but it could give you a nasty song.
Something like yourself. No, Jerry. No, Jerry.
Yes?
No, I happened to be coming through Clocker on Monday.
Yes?
And I noticed that shop.
No, don't name it.
No, I'll not name it. The shoe shop.
Were you in it?
I stopped and had a look.
Why did you stop and have a look?
I was curious because I'd gone up and down there quite a few times.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it is. But unfortunately, it was closed.
Really?
Yes, it was closed, although it was about 3:30 when I was there on Monday.
Well, that's a bit late, you know. Maybe
they had a sale on. Everything for 50p. That's right.
Okay, so we've narrowed it down to Clocker then.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And you were right about the clothes.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it was a wonderful shop. I'll not mention any names.
No, don't.
No. But I was curious. I'd been going up and down there, and I never seemed to see any life about it. You know.
Oh, I went in one day.
Did you get in?
Oh, I was in. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you see, what happened was, I stopped to get a paper. You see.
Yes.
And I was walking down the street, and I spotted it.
Yes.
I said, "Oh, look at this." So I went over, and she was open.
Yes.
And I went in, I went all around it, not a bean anywhere. It was great. I said, this is great. It was the best shop I'd ever been in.
Yes.
It was wonderful. It's time. Did you see in the window?
Yes.
It's great.
Oh, it is.
Anyway, let's not talk about that because the person who owns it might be embarrassed.
Oh, no, the thing is, I think it's like it has been a shop at one time.
Yeah, it's just gone down.
Clothes shop, and maybe the people that owned it have either retired or something. And it looks to me like it's quite possible it could be a charitable shop now.
It could be.
You know, and some of the
but it was
churches,
open now.
Some of the churches could open, have it there.
I think not. But it was open the day I was there, and I have to be honest with you.
Yes, no, I have gone up and down there.
You've seen it open?
I've never saw it open, you know. and to tell you the truth, I wanted to just get out and out of the car and have a smoke and stretch my legs, you know. And I went over and had a boat peep into it.
Well, maybe we might do the business a bit of good. Some people might be calling in today, and maybe over the weekend.
It's definitely in Clocker. Anyway.
Oh yes. Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, Jerry.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, sir. Right.
Bye. We're probably in trouble now. You know that.
No, it's not. No, apparently there's a clearance sale in it. So
we urge the people
be closing down.
Well, we urge the people. It's a shame if it does close down because it should be kept open as a national monument.
Yeah, I know where it is.
No, you don't.
It's beside a butcher's shop.
No, it's not.
It is so.
What butcher's shop?
I don't know.
Somebody told you it was beside a butcher's shop. But see, this is quite... Clocker's not exactly New York, you know.
It's sandwiched between two shops, and one was a butcher's shop, I think.
Could well be.
I know the name of it.
I was the one who found it in the first place.
I know the name of it now.
You see, you'd have walked past that.
I was never in Clocker in
I know,
my
that's
life.
what I mean. You see, it's up to me to go out and find this stuff.
I was never in 5 Mile Town.
I know. You see, but
where's the other place you met?
If you were sitting in here, you'd have nothing to talk about. Because you don't go anywhere. I'm out there looking for huckster shops.
Okay. Were you ever in Swatra?
Of course I was in Swatra. I was beaten up in Swatra.
Were you?
Aye, with Frank McBride's band, the boy attacked me.
Well, let's see if
I got into the toilet in time.
I think of some other places you were never...
I've been everywhere, man.
What do I see now?
No once memorably sang. Let's not hold this up. I'm going to play a record now.
No, there's a man.
Where is he?
He's in 2.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
Yes, listen to me rubbing my hands together with glee.
Hello?
Yes?
Gerry, I was ringing up about the song Carrickfergus that you played this morning and yesterday.
Yes.
And I was just wanting you to know that I belong to a society in Carrickfergus who did a bit of research into the song.
Well, you're the man we want to talk to. Tell us what your findings were.
Right, our findings, I'm afraid I don't remember the name of the man who wrote it, but we believe that the song was written by a man who just picked Carrickfergus out of his head. He just picked a 4-syllable song that name of a town that fit into what he was writing at the time.
Right.
No, he could have picked Limavady or Londonderry or Akadui, whatever.
Yeah.
And another thing we wanted to know, prepared to give a donation to charity if someone can prove to us that there's another Carrickfergus down south.
Yeah, there is none.
Pardon?
There isn't another one.
That's what we say. You know, there's one in South Africa and there's one in North America, but we don't believe there's another Carrickfergus down in County Cork.
No, I'm led to believe there is no other Carrickfergus, which is why people find it hard to believe that the song isn't about Carrickfergus, the one that we know.
I think someone in Tim Panally just was writing an Irish-type song and he came up with Carrickfergus, you know.
How are things in Glockamara?
Well, yep.
There's no Glockamara either.
I mean, if you write a book about London, you know, a fiction book about London, Las Vegas or Paris, you know, people read it. But, you know, once you mention a local town, everybody thinks it's real. Yes, I know those people.
That's right.
So,
but it's a bit of a letdown, isn't it, for the Northern Islanders? I mean, look at all the trouble Van Morrison went to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, probably in the assumption there was something to do with the Carrickfergus that he knew and loved. And it's some guy just sitting there writing about a place he never heard of, a place that doesn't exist at all. Because nothing in the song can in any way be connected at all to the Carrickfergus that we know and treasure.
No.
What's Ballygrand? What's the Ballygrand thing?
And Only for Nights in Ballygrand.
What's Ballygrand?
Isn't that right? What do you call that, your man you're talking to?
I don't know. What's your name, sir? Sorry.
Jim.
Jim.
Isn't Ballygrand, is that not a town land outside Carrickfergus?
No, I've never heard of that, Sean, either.
Yeah, well, we were told that now.
No, I'm into local history and I really don't know anybody.
So you've never found any Ballygrand?
I've never heard of it.
Well, you see, that's the only clue that's in that would have helped us to try and pin it down. So there is no Ballygrand.
There is.
Ballygrand? There's not.
It's a town land.
Where?
Outside Carrickfergus.
Well, to me, that would seem proof, if proof were needed, that it was about Carrickfergus.
Yes.
And suddenly you just come up with that, nobody else knows that. You're the only person who knows that.
No. I had phone calls yesterday.
Well, if Jim, if we're to be proven that Ballygrand is a townland outside Carrickfergus, would that not be highly significant?
Yes, it would mean that someone knew the area, but you know, I'm 60 and I've never heard of Ballygrand in my life, and I'm taking interest in the town and the surrounding area. But
does Jim live in Carrickfergus?
Why did you ask him yourself?
Are you from Carrickfergus?
I'm ringing from Carrickfergus, born and bred, yes.
Oh, you think you would have heard of it then?
Wouldn't you think so?
Yes,
yeah?
Yes.
Rather than someone from Roguesmount?
Yes. Well, where do we go from here?
We go nowhere. What we say is this. We say that it's news to Jim that there's a townland called Ballygrand outside Ballymena. Outside whatever you call that place we're talking about, Carrickfergus. So in other words, we must assume from that the person who rang you up is lying, or else you have decided to lie just to try and throw a spanner in my works, which you do on a daily basis.
No, we got this information yesterday, and I got a call this morning about it.
Okay, well, so Jim lives in Carrickfergus. He would know if anybody else knows.
But sure, I thought there was a Carrickfergus outside Waterford.
You see, that's how little you know. You see, what we have to say to you now, Jim, is let us assume that there is no such thing as Ballygrand outside Carrickfergus unless someone can prove.
I'm not an expert on Ballygrand, Gerry. I'm just saying I've never heard of it.
But if you weren't involved with people who did research into that, surely that would have been one of the first things they would have checked out.
But Phil thinks there's two Carrickfergus.
Phil Coulter will do anything for money. And you know that.
Did he not tell us?
Phil will tell us anything for money. What?
Carrickfergus. Do you know how Carrickfergus got its name?
I don't.
There was an old Scottish king called Fergus who was coming to Ireland for a cure for leprosy, and the ship ran aground on a rock, and that rock was called Carrickfergus. That's how Carrickfergus. Carrick is the Irish for rock, and Fergus was the king.
Well, that was a bit lucky. Could have been called.
I'm sure he didn't do that too often down any other parts of the world, you know.
No. But it's a bit of a lucky break there. It could have been called Lepertown.
Well, we have a Clipperstown in Carrickfergus.
That's right.
And we have a Trippers Lane, and things are all townlands. No, Gerry, we're prepared to give a donation to charity if someone can come up and convince us that there's another Carrickfergus in the south of Ireland.
All right then, even a Townland.
A Townland of Carrickfergus?
Yeah, even a Townland.
Oh yes.
I mean, it's quite possible there could be some kind of Townland.
Ballygrand. No, I'm not. I don't know about Ballygrand. I'm just talking about the song Carrickfergus. I think it was at the time there we found out who wrote the song and all the rest of it, and I think we just plucked that name out of the air to fit in with the words that he was writing at the time.
And you're right, I think the chance of finding somewhere called Carrickfergus away in the south of Ireland are quite slim because it's a very Scottish origin. There's very few very Scottish origin place names way down below what they call the Mason-Dixon line, I suppose. All right then, okay. Thank you for that. So there's a prize there for anyone who can prove to you that Carrickfergus is about Carrickfergus that we know and treasure.
Okay.
All right then.
Enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.
I wish I was.
7-1.
Hello, good morning.
7-8.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you?
I'm all right. Lois McKay here. I'm the woman rung up to challenge you on your terminology the other day.
You're going to challenge me again on my terminology?
No, I'm not, Gerry. No, I'm ringing up to ask you about the Scandia. Did you remember?
The Scandia?
In Hard Street.
Oh, yes, but that's moved now.
I know, it's the Olio.
It's the Olio. O-L-I-O. It's in Blackstaff Square. Very nice it is, too.
I remember seeing you there one time.
Oh, sure, I'm never out of it.
Quietly and diminutive in the...
No, I go in there and I read my paper and people leave me alone. It's great.
I read your article in the newspaper.
What article was that?
About carrying a newspaper in the restaurant.
Oh, that's right, yes.
In the Telegraph.
That's a terrible thing, yeah. Never go
did
anywhere.
You recover the other day? You sounded very conciliatory afterwards. I thought, oh, well, you apologised.
What was that now, I wonder?
I remember you were talking about women and the breed.
Yes,
no, we'll not go into it all again.
Terrible trouble that day.
No, but sorry, Gerry, I'm a bit sleepy this morning. I was out in the garden there putting on farmyard manure, would you believe?
Well, you'll be glad to see him coming back in again. Yeah, there'll be a nice whiff of him during the lunch.
No, it's actually I'll not mention the store. It's all refined stuff. It's not the real McCoy, you know.
That's all right then, yeah.
So how are you?
I'm all right, thanks. Anything we can do for you today? Anything?
No, I just wanted to ask you about the Scandi. Was it a beautiful wee restaurant, so old-fashioned, and there was a piano playing? And
it was lovely, and you could never get any drink in it. Do you remember?
You could get a glass of wine.
I know, but I'm talking about real drink.
Oh,
you can get real drink in it.
That's right. There used to be a wee Algerian waiter in it.
That's right, yes.
And I thought, I'll ask him, has he ever read Albert Camus, The Outsider?
Uh-huh.
And he had. Curiosity being, he had read it. Maybe you never ever read it yourself, did you?
That's like asking an Northern Ireland waiter, have they ever read James Joyce? As Eula says, the chances would probably be nil. Listen, is it not Camus?
Camus, my pronunciation's bad, Camus. Southern Irish parents, you see, I've got the...
I'm a Gnu.
I can do mispronunciations at the best of them.
I'm a Gnu. I read Camus.
Did you read it anyway? It's very good.
Yeah, I read that a long time ago.
I've never read any of his books since, funny enough.
Oh, he's a great writer. Wonderful writer.
So what do you think of the Olio compared to the Scandi? It's very modern, isn't it?
It's very modern, but of course, you know, it's just as good, just as nice.
For the Opera House.
I'm very fond of it. I remember when it was the old Scandia, I remember I used to watch Ian Paisley eat.
Did you?
Ian used to go in there. Did you ever see Ian eating?
No, we used to go to the Chinese in Grand Parade.
He can fairly get the grub into him, old Ian. I remember watching him demolishing a huge pile.
The Red Rooster and the Craigie, but I don't think you know where it's there or not now.
I don't know if it's there or not, no. Anyway, this is all very good, and nice to talk to you.
No, nice to talk to you,
all
Gerry,
right.
and I thought I'd ring up and, I said to myself, well, he's very conciliatory and he apologised and all.
I know.
And there is some men do say things like that, but not the most.
Men do things like that. What you hear in this programme is what ordinary people say. And that's why we get into trouble.
But women aren't as bad as hard on men, I don't think, accept them.
Yes, they are.
Do you think so?
Yes, they are. I know that for a fact.
You've had bad experiences.
I've had very bad
experiences. Well, here, don't be too hard on Sean there. I heard you telling them all.
He deserves it.
What?
He deserves it. He's too sneaky.
You'd make a great comedy team, the Perriers.
Well, I don't know about that. Who would pay us?
Better than the singing, eh?
Okay.
I haven't actually heard your record yet.
Well, we can fix that.
What? This is an experience.
We can fix that.
A lady phoned from Uri to say that it's not on sale in Uri.
Well, good.
Why are you saying good?
I'm glad it's not on sale in Uri.
Why not?
Because your head's big enough as it is. Why is it not on sale in Uri?
Don't know.
Is it the Buttercrane Centre?
I don't know. They can't get it near.
They can't get it near.
No. We need to talk to that man.
I'll tell you what, our distributor's letting us down a
big time. Yeah.
If it wasn't for him.
Well, there you are. Have a good night tonight.
Yes, thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Well, I'll not be there. I'm buried here in the depths of the moorings.
Well, you're having lunch with a man who'll be covered with fertiliser. What more can you want? All right, then. Thank you.
Okay, nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you. Bye.
There's a lady at the side of the road. Hello? There's a lady at the side of the road.
Well, tell her to pick herself up.
She's waiting to talk to you.
She'll have to wait until after Gilbert's finished.
All right.
Wait a little while from now, if I'm not feeling any less sound, I promise myself to treat myself and visit a nearby town. And climbing to the top, will throw myself up in an effort to make clear to whoever what it's like when you're shattered, left standing in the lurch at a church where people were saying, my God, that's tough, she stood him up. No point in us remaining, we may as well go home, as I did on my own, alone again, naturally. To think that only yesterday I was cheerful, bright and gay, looking forward to who wouldn't do the role I was about to play. But as if to knock me down, reality came around, and without so much as a mere touch, cut me into little pieces, leaving me to doubt. Talk about God in His mercy, who if He really does exist, why did He desert me in my hour of need? I truly am indeed alone again, naturally. It seems to me that there are more hearts broken in the world that can't be mended, left unattended. What do we do? What do we do? Alone again, naturally. Now looking back over the years, whatever else that appears, I remember I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. And at 65 years old, my mother, God rest her soul, couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken, leaving her to start with a heart so badly broken. Despite encouragement from me, no words were ever spoken. When she passed away, I cried and cried all day, alone again, naturally. Alone again, naturally.
That's the great Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again Naturally. That's from his new compilation called The Berry Vest of. Gilbert O'Sullivan, that's selling really well, apparently. Richard McCann sends me an email. He says, can I have a Kenny Archer card saying I'm only a yodel away? Can I have one for me? My mummy says I'm special. No, you're too precocious. Jeff Gutowski says, we are listening to your show this morning and heard you're looking for an American to fulfill some capacity for your show. I'm an American who's been living in Northern Ireland for the past 8 years and be willing to take time out of my busy schedule trying to embezzle Sean Coyle out of his pension in exchange for a week in paradise. Our new Bundoran resort will be open shortly. Cowboy ropes are pronounced lassos. And sorry, but Sean's right about how to say Costello. What did you say that was?
Costello?
Costello. Apparently you're right.
Apparently there is a place called Ballygrant.
No, but that's too...
Ballygrant.
Where is Ballygrant?
Outside Carrickfergus.
I see that. muddies the waters, doesn't it? That really does muddies the water.
But another man's on the phone there, and he says, no, it's definitely an old Cork song.
I've heard you say that Sean has stolen your limelight because the 2 tracks you recorded for the CD were not used. But how come my sister has a CD of you and Sean and you on it singing Hit the Road Jack? Or is that a different CD? Well, the first few ones that were...
Did you sneak that in?
No, the first few CDs that were made had mine on it before you and the other fella got at them and got them taken off. So, but it's not credited on the label. But you can actually hear me on the 3rd track, but I'm not mentioned on the label.
If you listen carefully.
Re lasso. According to phonetic pronunciation guides, you can either use lasso or lasso. The word lasso or lasso is derived from the old Spanish word lazo, L-A-Z-O, which itself comes from the vulgar Latin laccium, meaning a noose. I really must get a life. Kind regards, Mark.
Can you still get brasso in the tin?
As far as I know.
Remember the tin with the wee top?
I remember it well because I'll tell you why. Because I used to spend every Saturday morning doing our knobs.
So I believe, you told us that before.
Yes, indeed. I did our doorknobs every Saturday morning with brasso and Duraglit.
Yeah, but I'm asking, can you still get brasso?
Yes, you can. And you can still drink it too.
No, don't encourage people to do that. You can.
What you do, you leave it for a long time waiting for the white...
In case there's any children listening,
don't.
You cannot drink... you will die if you drink brasso.
The Alcos used to drink.
You will die if you drink a brasso.
The Alcos used to drink it, never killed them.
That's for the sake of showbiz. You will die...
Oh, you'll die if you drink brasso.
Yes.
No, right. They used to drink too. They used to drink shoe polish as well. Did you know that?
There's a call somewhere.
What about the gas? What about the milk?
There's a sitting at the side of
What
the
about
road?
the milk with the gas in it? Eh? It's a long time since we did that.
Too.
William Dempsey.
There's a girl at the side of the road on 2.
William Dempsey said it takes a long time to access your website, not as easy as I thought for the amateur. Regarding the question of lassos, I believe the Americans call them lariats. Well, it'd be good if you could find some time in your busy schedule to play some Andrea Bocelli. I went to see Andrea Bocelli in Dublin. Do you remember a couple of years ago?
Not one American phoned this programme.
What does that tell us?
I don't know.
There's nobody listening. That's what it tells us. 2 things to do today. Please stop playing Carrickfergus. We're sick listening to it. Secondly, do you think the people of Glockamora care how things are with us? No, they don't. Do you know why? Because there is no such place as Glockamora. It's a Hollywood invention. Mm-hmm. Jim and Trevor about to swith off...
Was that Petula Clark?
Pardon?
No, not that email from Petula Clark. Was that Petula Clark hire things in Glockamora?
No, Petula Clark hasn't emailed this programme for years. Please congratulate Tom... Oh, I've read that already.
But what about the girl at the side of the road?
Where is she?
She's at the side of the road on 2.
Good morning, girl on the side of the road. Hello?
Good morning.
What side of the road are you on?
Glengormley.
Okay. Have you pulled in, if I may use that expression?
I have.
And how are you today? Can you do anything to alleviate a grey morning for many of the listeners?
I don't know.
Okay,
well,
have a go.
Well, Carrickfergus.
Excuse me, are you listening to your radio there?
Oh, I am.
Is that your car radio?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's better now.
Turned it down.
That's better now, that's it.
I was telling Sean about 15 years ago, there was a man and woman, husband and wife, playing around the pubs and clubs. And they rewrote the words of Carrickfergus to fit in with our Carrickfergus. And it had the castle and whatever in it.
But you see, that's not what we are about on this programme. We're not into tribute bands. You see, this is a confection, a manufacture. What we're at is the genuine article, the pristine original. We want to find out what the original song, which came down through the ages, we want to know what place that is about.
Yes, I know, but I was just thinking, if you could hear this one, and you could compare the two. As you say, then there's nothing in the words of the original song about Carrickfergus.
Nothing that connects it at all.
Or Carrickfergus, yes.
No, it doesn't connect.
But all I was thinking was, it would be nice to hear this one that's been sort of rewritten.
Yeah, but that's like going to an Abbey tribute band, isn't it?
Oh, well, it was only an idea.
No, I'm sorry if I appear a little sharp. It's just that, one needs to be very, rigorous whilst talking about these subjects. I see, we must not confuse the ersatz with the genuine. You see...
Yes, I know. But, I couldn't even tell you the name of this group people. As I say, it was about 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it just sort of came into my head.
Was it a man and a woman?
Yes, I don't know whether there was a husband and wife or just a man and a woman playing together.
Well, maybe somebody out there would know what that is, or maybe somebody's
maybe, if one of them were listening, you never know, they might hear your programme.
Yes.
Might jog their memory about it.
Yes, and there's a
I had asked them for a tape of them singing it so I could send to Australia, but of course I never got the tape, so I couldn't even tell you, as I say, what they are called.
Where did you hear them, as a matter of interest?
In Carrickfergus.
In Carrickfergus? Well, that's quite coincidental. All right, then. So maybe somebody out there would tell me who they are, and if they're listening, maybe they could send us a copy of the tape of the song that they have doctored.
It would just be interesting, I thought, for the other listeners, just to hear the difference.
You've talked me into it. I was cold at the start, but I'm warming to it. All right, well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See, that was a very interesting thing that she was talking about.
Yes. Could you please have a wee quick word with Keith, because he's special?
All right.
And could you say hello to George Lloyd, who's in the Antrim Hospital? Get well soon is a message to George. This is from his mum-in-law, Sally. Aaron Cully of the Royal Victoria, Adrian. Aaron, is that Aaron? I was right, Aaron.
That's Elvis's twin who never lived.
That's right, Aaron. That's correct. Yeah.
When you think about it, it's sad, isn't it?
Yes. Aaron Cully, who's in the Royal Victoria Hospital, from his daddy and his uncle John, and Andrea and Samantha on their 5th birthday. Happy birthday from Granny. And also Paul McGuinness in Stoneyfort, who's 21.
Why don't you do a request programme? Apparently there's one on Radio Foyle at 1:30. You'd be good at that.
Would you talk to a man?
Where is he?
He's special. He's on 1.
Hello.
Hello, okay.
How special are you?
I was proposed to on the 29th of February.
What? Can you translate that?
It was proposed to.
You were proposed to?
Yes.
On the 29th of February, on the leap day, whatever they call it.
Yes, leap year.
And what did you say?
I said yes.
You said yes?
Aye.
Well, great. I have to say that I'm happy for you. And when is the big day?
The 27th of November.
Well, did you know the person who proposed to you?
I think so. My grandmother for 3 years.
Did the feet walked off her?
What's the matter?
Well, how come she had to take such draconian steps? How come you didn't ask her?
I'm not like that. I'd rather have a cup of tea.
Well, she's going to have a great future with you, I have to say.
No, but everything's all sorted now, but...
Is it?
Aye.
Well, she's certainly got some catch there, I have to say. And is she pregnant at all, or is there any reason for this?
No.
Can I be turned off, please?
Not like that, no.
I want off immediately. Turn me off. It's an awful thing to ask any fella.
Well, there must be a reason for it. I mean, he's obviously got no personality. I mean, why is she asking him? It must be some reason.
Why call you Jay or George?
Aye.
That's all right. No, we're only joshing here. We're very happy for you, and thank you for telling us the news. And we hope you have a very happy life, and the patter of little feet comes when you expect it.
Well, sooner and better.
He wants a card.
He wants a card, does he?
Yeah.
A Yodel Away card?
Yes.
Well, is he special?
Well, he said he's special. He was proposed to.
Well, you are special, aren't you? Well, why don't you leave your address and we'll send you this Kenny yodeling card.
Are you going to end with Kenny?
I don't know.
I would like to end with a yodel.
That's what they want.
They all say that.
I've heard that before, but I'm not going to talk about it. There's a joke there, and it's absolutely evil. Right, here's Kenny now. Here he comes. Here comes Kenny.
That's better.
Thank you. You're special. And I'm going to send you a special card.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye.
Do you think that we come much too far together to just give up and say words like goodbye? After all that we've been through with one another, I still believe that old loves never die. The least that we can do is talk it over.
There's no sign of a yodel in that one at all. We put it on too early. Right, that's all we have time for. I'll be back on Monday. I won't be here tomorrow. Mark Patterson will be here. You'll be here to help him, of course, won't you? See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
92 to 95 FM. BBC Radio Ulster.
It's time now for This Place.
Today, Helen Nicholl from Zimbabwe talks about the War on Want bookshop on Botanic Avenue in Belfast.
Some people walk in and say, oh no, that awful smell of old books. I think it's a wonderful smell. You know, to me it's the way it should smell. It is a slightly musty smell. It smells of history, you know. I would come down in the morning, I'd put the shutter up, open the door, put on the lights, and then I know people walking past are going to see just, you know, rows of books stretching backwards, which to me is the most inviting thing in the world. Everyone has a story of their own to tell. There's a great oral tradition in Zimbabwe. People tell stories, but then they do in Belfast. I've never heard people tell as many stories as they do in Belfast. And that is one of the things I really love about the bookshop is somebody will come in and just only be talking about their holidays or the weather. And, you know, within minutes, it's got onto something quite different. It'll be a full-scale debate about the merits of, you know, different poets or politics, religion, gossip. Everything comes in. Wonderful conversations. It gets quite bizarre sometimes. It's exciting unpacking the boxes of books because all the books are donated and you never know what you're going to find. They're sometimes very valuable books. And, you know, if there's a little note or somebody's little shopping list or something like that, little personal thing, we'd leave that in an old book because to me it adds to the interest and the value of the book. And sometimes you'll get a box of books from one house and there'll be books that have obviously been given every year and the same inscription, you know, to Susan, love as ever, William or something like that. I would feel very sad to leave Belfast because the people here are so warm. And they're so funny and down to earth. They're so African, in fact. Book lovers are the same the whole world over.
If you'd like to take part in this place, you can contact the series producer by ringing 9033 8427, or you can email this.place@bbc.co.uk.